The new intro cutscene fairly makes a hell of an impact, doesn't it, over the ones in the betas. It seemed almost... I don't know. Like the beta ones were literally just a placeholder that had as much effort as some games actual opening sequences have. Anyway, there's going to be a few things I'm going to check beforehand. The game does ask you if you want to import your character creation data and whatnot from the last chance trial, but yeah, fuck that. I used a placeholder because I only had a couple of hours on it, so why would I bother doing that? Anyway, basic game settings, let's see, display headgear, subtitles, damage display, skip watched movies, manually, thank you. Automatically use acquired locks of hair, no, because I'd rather use that. Display values, display values, display values, display values, display Yokai ability cost, display gold in mission, yeah, fine, lock on marker, yes, reset camera upon guarding, well, audio settings, overall volume, music volume, voice volume, does that not actually have a thing in here for, wait, no, there it is. Text, voice. Voice, I'm switching over to Japanese because the English in this game, getting someone in a very posh English accent going, oh, very good, when you're fighting them, is rather immersion breaking for me. I can't get away with this game in English. It just isn't a thing I can do. Now obviously I've set the game to action mode, I just want to quickly double check there, because honestly action mode is the best way to play this game. If you're going to play a game where split seconds, reactions and movements matter, you want to stabilise the one thing that means it'll work, and that is the frame rate. If you want to go ahead and just go on, oh yeah, I want the graphics to look as awesome as possible, then yeah, go ahead and pick resolution, but be prepared for a frame rate shit the bed when there's a boss fight going on, and then your rage will make you eat your own face. Trust me, I know that from experience. You don't want a frame rate that shits the bed. It's simple. Now then, I'm gonna get started here.
まれびとと呼び崇めました。しかし次第に恐れられ、ひどい目に遭ってからは人々を襲い始め、ついには鬼と呼ばれました。そこである若者が鬼に立ち向かいます。若者は黄金色の石をたくさん集め、キラキラと光り輝く不思議な刀を手に入れました。そして誰も倒せなかった鬼をその刀で切りました。鬼を殺した若者はその刀を残し、 強く生きるのです。強く。
おお、もうかように大きくなったか。
I know that voice.
どのような子が生まれてくるのやら。この未来は限りなく広がっておりますれば。
Right, so that's how it feeds into the character customization. You're essentially the child of somebody. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it for some reason reminds me of other Koei Tecmo delves from the Samurai Warrior days of Lady Nioh. It looks oddly familiar. Anyway. Pretty sure that's the same voice actor of the... Okay, that is always the laugh that was used for Lady Nioh, so I'm pretty sure that's now my right answer for that. However, I'm pretty sure that that voice for your father, quote-unquote, is Nagamasa, I believe, was the name of the talking cat in, like, early Nioh. I'm guessing that's not the overall vibe it's going for here, as I'd guess not, but yeah, it's yeah, that's the best my brain can do there, honestly. Anyway, if I'm gonna go with a skin type, I'm gonna go with generally quite a pale skin. Not like ashen pale, but you know, hang on a minute. I'm gonna quickly check here. Did I not, when I played through the beta, think that for some reason everything I did would be completely screwed and therefore use my camera to take a list of all the options you could change? I did. However, it's still not as in-depth as everything here. Although it does give me the old skin tone, which I do want to correct, which is 226175139. Alright, so I just gotta find it. So 226 is what, like here, basically. Wait a minute, 228, 226. So it was 226175139. So it's about along here, but dang, it's going to be difficult to get an exact match. I'll stick with that for now, as it's like pale enough. I might go back and change it. Now the stance just dictates how far you basically have yourself spread out. It's a more imposing stance, so I'm going to stick with low. Right, it just lets you cycle through the categories by using that. Fair enough. What did I do with this? Because I know I've like gotten every last bit. Question is it in order or is it not? It is in reverse order. Okay, that's at least something, I suppose. So it was using presets, but then if I use a preset, won't it change things? So cheekbone height I had lessened. Cheekbone width I'd assume I would lessen as well. No, I left that the same. Fair enough, I suppose. Although, is that not like just more youthful skin overall? It seems to be less marred with marks and whatnot. Anyway, cheekbone width would be That's how far they basically jut out. No, I'm happy with them being fairly neutral. Honestly, it's not really a massive thing. Depth I lessened. Cheek muscles, I actually upped that quite a bit. I don't quite know why. Nor with this fringe can I get a very clear indication of exactly the finite changes. So, if there is one thing that I'm going to do, it is basically make myself bald, or as close to as I can find quickly, to make this fast. Because I am taking a rather cheap way out here. So cheek position is new, that wasn't in the beta. Right. So that's basically how fluffed out the cheeks are. You know, I'm gonna leave that at like a 2 just to give it a bit of puff out. Let's see, jaw height was neutral, jaw width was reduced because obviously the wider a jaw, well, yeah, you get the idea. Like a slim jawline. Jaw depth. Now the jaw depth is how far it goes back, yes? Yes, it is how far it goes back. Bringing it right forward. Keeping it quite far back, I think. Chin height I actually elevated ever so slightly, but I'm gonna change that this time. Make it a bit higher up this time. Now the chin depth I actually reduced, because it's yeah, I actually reduced it a little bit just to give it a bit more of a undercurve for the lip. No. Oh, don't you fucking dare reshuffle my library of photos for this. I will end somebody over that if I have to. Ah, fuck's sake. Alright. So wait, is that all that was there? That is all that was there, so everything else is added in. Chin size, reduce it. The definition, how defining it makes a difference. Ah, it's basically how much of a like point it finds to. Lower jaw depth. Yeah, so that's basically whether you've got an overbite or underbite. And chin tip height. So the chin tip height would make it basically like a dimple chin. Chin depth. So that is what? The neck. And the width. Bring that in line a little. Alright, that should do it. Aging, none. Eyebrows. Crikey. Did I even have this like recorded here? Yeah, I did. Probably for the best. Though, those were the eyebrows I went with. Fiercely penciled in place. I can kind of see why I went with them now. It's a little more determined. I'm going to stick with that. Eyebrow height, I reduced. Depth, I believe I would have reduced as well, because then it kind of brings it closer to... I increased the distance between them as well. Yeah. And I changed the angle on them as well. So I brought them closer to being leveled out than angry, I guess. I'm gonna make them a little bit more angry this time, just because, you know, why not? Outer eyebrow height would bring that up, bring that down. I'm gonna keep that roughly about where it should be. In terms of its overall, I think just actually leaving it as neutral would be fine for now. The mid-eyebrow height, I think bringing that down a couple actually makes it... And the inner eyebrow height. There we go. Though with that, I might actually like up the eyebrow height overall a little. Eyebrow density, thickness. So you can either make them like really thin or really thick. I'm gonna keep them a little bit on the thin side. Right. Eyes. Your overall eye size, you can make them massive and anime. What did I actually do with the eyes last time? Let's find out. Eye appearance. Where is eyes in here? Nose, mouth, ears, hairstyle. Where is it? Eyes, there it is. So I actually had like preset 1 on those for shaping. I'm actually going to go with preset 8 this time. So I did up the eye size a bit. Eye height I brought down. Spacing I upped a bit. The reason I'm literally copying from these notes, by the way, isn't because I'm lazy or anything. It's because I really want to create a similar character to what I had last time. I quite like the look of him and just want to remake it, really. And since the game gave you an option to import from the Last Chance trial, I wish I'd put more effort into recreating them then rather than now. Let's see, eye depth. I believe I brought those, like... No, I had them sunken inward. Fair enough. I'm actually surprised I had those sunken more inwards. I guess it does give them more definition, but... having them further forward... having them bulge out like that is weird. Having them sunken a bit inwards actually makes more sense. Because everyone's eyes, for the most part, are naturally sunken into their head a little bit. Obviously, to protect them if the face comes into contact with something. If your eyes were pushed out front, they'd easily get fucked up in incidents, accidents, fights, or whatever else. So it would be kind of, yeah, it would kind of be a bit of a hurter, you know. Eyelid height. Did I actually customize this? I did. I had it slightly lower. Because the eyelid height is there. So I had it about there, just as a minor change. And eyelid depth. Eyelids going really deep or not at all. That seems to fit for that. Matching eyes, definitely not. This is something I kind of glazed over, I think, last time, in terms of how everything worked. Yeah, because I just had, like, presets, didn't I? So. Alright. So I've got the presets this time. Hang on a minute, because the presets dictate the overall style, don't they? Yeah, so that's like more clear, less fogged. I'm gonna go with those. Left iris size. A little bit on the bigger side. Style. So the style is simply for changing the iris. I'm gonna keep them roughly the same. But, colour-wise, I want to go for quite a quite deep brown. And then, for the right, because it's always something that's going to stick with me personally, my operation completely fucked my right eye, so it's always been a rather unfond memory of mine of scaring a child shitless at looking like an infected from 28 days later because of the bloodshot level of my eye being completely fucking red in the white parts, and the scar that left afterwards. So every character that I have always has a messed up right eye in one way or another, usually by way of making it red. That's just a little personal touch from my own history, though. Now the nose. Good God, did I actually work on the nose? I did. What did I do with it? I went for preset 1, which is a pretty neutral nose. And then I adjusted it. So, nose height I left the same. I think maybe... Yeah, actually, you know what? Leaving that where it is fine. Maybe dropping it a couple of bits. Makes it a little bit bigger, but, you know, nose position... Nose position we didn't actually get. I'm guessing this is, like, the crookedness of it. Nose depth. Now, I did bring this down a bit, because nose depth is... Yeah, it's like a bit of a smaller nose without really compromising on anything. Nose width I brought down considerably, because a thin nose is more generally desirable on a cute looking character. The nose angle, I guess, is break again. Nose bridge height. Right, so the bridge is there. I brought that down a little last time because it was just more in line. Bridge width, I believe I dropped considerably. Nose wing height. Alright, onto the mouth now. Presets. A little bit on the thin side, but I can plump them up, I'm sure. Alright, let's have a look. So, up the height a bit. Depth, I left the same. Mouth depth is kind of little something though. Having it like perk out a bit. Maybe just 1 or 2 points there to perk it out a little. Because having it sunken inwards kind of reduces the lip fullness a little. Or at least it looks like it does for me. That's the overall mouth size in terms of lip length. I actually reduced this last time, really? Huh, okay. That's an odd one. Normally I wouldn't do that. And the corner angle, I believe I shaped up a bit to give a bit of a natural smile to it. Not as much as I just have there, but corner position. You can really bring that in line. Upper lip thickness. I'd say 4 and 4. Maybe a bit less on that. And if I was to change to another preset at this point, how would it shape things? Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to redecide on that. So, height up a bit. Depth. Actually, that one kind of perked forward naturally. Corner angle still a little bit happy. Corner position. Lip thickness. That'll work. Ears are always an awkward one, because you normally never can do much with them until after that you've applied the hairstyle, really. What did I actually do with the ears last time? Were they in here? I dropped the ear height down to like -10. That looks almost odd. Huh. I guess it was more for the hairstyle after I'd applied it, but I'm seeing like a heightened ear height be more sensible right now. Because if I measure where my ears are, they're slightly below where my eyeline is, but if I trace them, the top of my ear goes just above my eyeline, so round about there, maybe a bit lower. And the lobe size. Yeah, you can just make them fucking massive and odd, or make them virtually non-existent, which, honestly, I would say about -2 works. And ear tip shape, which is how much it points. There we go. Facial markings.
傷一つなく健やかに育ってほしいものですが。
なに、戦傷は武士の誉れよ。
I'm guessing this is just like scars and war paint. Fair enough. The lotus flower tattoo. I might actually go for stuff like that when it comes to it, but eye patch accessories and whatnot. Nope, I think that's all good.
伸びた髪を櫛ですいてあげる日が楽しみです。
わしに似てしまうと、その間おとなしくしておれん子になるやもな。
Yeah. If there's one thing you learn fairly quickly when it comes to hair, it is that other people tend to treat your hair with more aggression than you, just to get, you know, things like knots and whatnot out, whereas you would tend to be more gentle because you can kind of feel the tensile pull that you'd need to kind of break the knot. Other people may struggle with that one. Alright, let's finagle the hairstyle here. So the base hair is there. And the bangs style, I could really go into a lot of detail customizing this. Though I'm honestly gonna be, I'm gonna be brutally honest, I'm digging style 8 right now. Because I don't want to cover over the eyes like massively. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 8. Kinda covers over the face a little, but tie it back in a ponytail, because that's probably the best way to deal with it. Base hair colour. You know, it comes to something when I've had my hair dyed that much that I really can't remember much about its overall style. Yeah, it's kind of, it still brings in a little bit of the colour though. There we go. Also, you may be able to hear my PlayStation is just overclocking the hell out of this right now. Because it's just trying to keep up. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's bring up the colour, and instead of the red that I had before, I'm going to go with blue this time. But not like an epically vibrant blue, I think. Something along that line, where it's a little subdued, but still vibrant as hell. And then highlights are a different factor, aren't they? I forgot you had like multiple faceted layers with hair in this, didn't you? Highlighted tips. I'm gonna go for a pretty consistent but still somewhat colour varied on the blue. Yeah, I'd say that works. Oh Christ, I forgot you had all these like multiple different bits to it as well. Lengthwise, I may reduce the length of that to make it a bit... Like, what's the shortest you can get it? Down to there? Yeah, so if I have it at about length of 3... And... That's like, it's dead straight. That tends to be what happens when you bunch it up though, so... And the fringe length, I can actually trim it back. Because length 20 is like long and flowing. Length... Yeah, I'll taper it back a little bit, just a tiny amount. And... Do I go with like a... like really blue... tie back? Or do I go with black? I'm gonna go with a really vibrant blue. It adds a bit of a splash of colour. Done it really. Facial hair, I think I'm good. I don't really want to add facial hair to this. Ah, shit. Fuck, I've already done the hair and I've got the makeup to do. Damn it. Wait, tooth paints have been added? Really? Tooth paint would be like a ridiculousness because it just makes your teeth a certain colour. Nah, pearly whites are good enough for me. Alright, let's see. At least this is where, really, the makeup notes come good, because I've already covered the face of the character a little, so I'll be able to kind of replicate the style a bit here. Although, I am kind of liking the really thick style today. Because it complements the blue to have it really, like, wham, stand out. I'm going to stick with that for now. I can always change it later if I don't like it after I come back to it, but yeah. Alright, so eyeshadow type was 2, colour was changed, because that isn't that, like, standout. I don't think any of it's really going to be that standout with this colour, or this, like, thickness of eyeliner. If I were to bring back... Hold on. No, I left it at, like, maximum opacity. So if I bring it down a notch, does it make that more obvious? It does kind of, but not really. Well, eyeshadow opacity, I may have to up that just to see it, you know, like pop a bit. Shine. Nah, I don't want it to shine. It's supposed to be dull. Good lord, it's a good thing I've got all of this saved, isn't it, really? I actually might change that up a bit. Eyelash length. I actually reduced eyelash length last time, really? Considering that I've got eyelashes that literally act as glasses cleaners, that seems surprising. I'm gonna go with longer ones this time. Alright, so... lipstick types. What did I do for that? I kept with type 1. Did I keep with the default tone? No, I changed it, didn't I? I changed it to be more of a natural colour. Because I changed it to be, what? 15988. Which is like what? Where is 159? In fact, I don't think I can even replicate that colour, can I, really? Because no matter where I would go, it doesn't seem to have that kind of grid. Huh. Curious. I'm guessing things have changed since the beta in terms of how character customization works, whether it's become deeper or not. Well, if I go more towards the dark... Actually, wait, yeah, because if I upscale it to light, then it'll be there, won't it? So, 15988. It's a shame that I can't, like, manually... Hang on. Edit custom color. 128. So if I up this to... So that's like 160, that's 159, and then 88 would be like, what? Ridiculously up here? Pretty much? There. So that's the colour I had before. I don't believe I've actually been able to get that perfectly. Opacity... That's ridiculous. And I had it set up at 165, so quite thick. Glossiness, I believe I removed. Yeah, I brought it down a bit. But then there was something else, wasn't there? Because... Nah, it's just the blush. Huh. Fair enough, I suppose. More angled. What did I do with this? I don't even remember. Okay, so spacing I improved upon. I like made it further back. Should have probably gone with like further back to have it quite angled, but let's see. I mean, with the colour, I went with a quite neutral colour, didn't I? Because I went with 1595354. Which is actually quite a vibrant colour, but still not... So it was what, 5954? Which is slightly off, I believe, to one side. So it's what, like here somewhere? Yeah. Pretty much about there. I kind of want to go for something a little bit more vibrant red this time. Not that thick though, so the opacity, bring it down a bit, and have it quite subtle. Because having it at like maximum is just, oof, that's actually painful for my eyes. Having it around there is still a bit thick from this angle. Having it around 70 has it subtle enough where it's not massively noticeable. Face paint. Ah, you can actually have like the full on face paint. So by that logic, if you can have like the absolute white, then you can also go for... That just looks odd. That's basically black facing at that point, isn't it, really? So this is basically if you want to have a specific skin colour kind of thing. That is not something I'm going to go with this time. Height. Okay, did I even record this stuff? I don't think I did I? I know that I made them quite short. Not like epically short, but short. Overall head size, bring it down a couple of notches. Weight, how does that affect the character? Makes them bulkier. Well, I'm an absolute stick, so there's that. Chest size, thus I did nerf. Not much, but I did. Alright, we've got tattoos. Now this I didn't dabble with last time, I believe it was... Was it locked? Yeah, it was, looking at this actually. I need to find... Can I edit the colours of the lotus though? Because if that goes on here, vertical position down, horizontal position, I want that basically dead center, height of it, width of it. If I bring it to like neutral, then it's, yeah, it's big enough. Rotation, color. So the center always has to be yellow, right? I can't change that to be green like I'd want, because that's a damn shame. Or can I? No, I can't. That's unfortunate. Well, in that case, what else have we got here? Is that all? So like some Yakuza tattoos and then a few others. I would like to mess with that, but color-wise is a little finicky. Then again, that looks pretty decent. It's way too vibrant in colour to be an actual tattoo, but I'm gonna stick with it. There we go. Ah yes, now this I don't have to faff with, because I did record this. So I kept it... Actually, I kept it as default. Why? That's curious. Right, that's the youngest voice, that's the oldest. Piercing. I don't know. Keep it as default, I suppose.
私とあなたの間の子、どのような姿に育つのでしょうね。
案ずるには及ばぬ。どのような姿になろうと、愛しい我が子よ。
Wait, you can just maintain like human form hair. Horn type. See, having the ones that like break down across your face looks kind of cool, but it doesn't really fit this style. Maybe an alternative one. I'm gonna run with that for now. Base hair color black, and because it's in yokai form, I kinda think that the color should be ridiculous. Like, the bold color on that just stands out a lot more. Since you're infused with demon energy, logic goes out the fucking window. Hair length. And curliness has what effect on this? Just how matted it appears. Yeah, my hair's not curly at all. It basically drifts with gravity. And that's it. Like, if it rests on a shoulder, it'll curve slightly or something. Other than that, it won't do squat. So, brute is done. Feral, let's see. Horn type for feral. What can I do with this? Aside from make it obviously way more blue. So, with that... Although, should I just leave it as is with this stuff? I might go for somewhat uniformity, but slight differences. The like actually more well kept hair fits better here. Alright, so that's the yokai forms, and I'm gonna go back and change that actually, because I want that a little bit longer, looking at it from there. There we go. Alright, I think I'm ready to go with this for now. This being Nioh, I'm guaranteeing that it'll be able to be switched up. Now, naturally, for YouTube, I'm going to be giving this a break. This was by far one of my least inventive character creations, because I tried to basically trace from a past template, but I will be coming back to this to make a few other different custom characters, and just see what I can do. I always like playing around with the character creator and delving into all the options. Of course, the first time I play through anything, I just want my character to look almost perfect. For me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean. If you're the kind of person that spends a couple of hours in a character creator where you finagle every single detail and then you go, there's something wrong, delete, start again, you know, it gets to you, you know. But I'll be leaving a break here in between episodes on YouTube just to make sure that it is only there for people who want to see it, and the gameplay is separated out. Also, no I don't. Because what I want to do right now is save. Wait, what's this? Create and manage character creation codes. Other users can use this code to download the character's appearance. Huh, that's cool. I'm going to save. Right. Outfits, light armor, medium armor, heavy armor, and naked. I do like the way light armor looks though. Like the shrine gear looks really nice in that faint blue. It's just the colour scheme kinda just matches nicely. The hairstyle doesn't really match a shrine maiden much though. It's a bit too action gal for that one. But yeah. Also the backgrounds, outdoors morning. Actually looks somewhat peaceful. Not. It looks mired. Anyway, now that I've saved that for future usage, it's time to get moving. Actually, wait a minute.
目元はあなたに似ると良いですね。私の好きがあなたのその目に。
いやいや、お前にこそ似るとよい。愛しいお前のその目にの。
Okay, we're good. Though I recall having somewhere here to name a character. Am I misremembering this? Yes, I do. Or am I just thinking of Code Vein at this point? You know what? I'm gonna try and shift backwards if my chair's hydraulics aren't so good that the dints in the carpet basically prevent me from moving without putting my full body weight behind it. Alright, let's see. What's this? Ah yes, these are just the hints, aren't they? Does that actually give you anything? I don't think it does it? Also, is there... Yeah, you can have, like, unarmed combat and it's still, not good. Yeah, it's allowing you to go back to the character customizer. Actually, wait, what is, like... It doesn't make a difference, does it? No, hand combat has no stances, so it's effectively just all useless. Yeah. Now I get to pick my weapons. What should I go with? Should I just go like the ultimate slow build with strength? I know that in the original Nioh, the clear winner of any weapon was just the regular katana. Because it was just almost... It was too balanced. It basically just didn't have a weakness. If you played it right, it just didn't have a weakness. I'm not saying that I did, but I've seen people play with just the katana, and it's just like, yeah, okay, so as long as I make sure I make use of the stances correctly, I have literally nothing of a weakness in the style. Whereas, of course, the spear, despite being a very good long-range weapon, if you were using that in close quarters, you got screwed. The axe was just too heavy on your stamina usage to really be of any use unless you invested heavily in just max ki. The tonfa, they're new. I don't really know what to make of them. Short range weapons, quite light, quite fast. Like, I know what tonfa are and how people would use them. How they are applied in this game against the enemies you face, on the other hand, is a question to me. Now, hatchets are high skill. Is that not the same for the dual katanas? I imagine it would be, right? Yeah, so dual weapons is just being skilled because you're using ambidexterity. Where that leads, I never noticed that in the beta. The Gasarigama is a very good weapon if you're planning on sort of a ninjutsu build. It also has quite high power from what I understand, but the switch glaive is... I'm not intending on using magic, but the switch glaive is something I'm quite interested in, because it's like... its ability to switch between stances very drastically alters your weapon, rather than just the speed of your strikes and the distance of your dodges. Like, upper stance is the scythe you're seeing right now, mid stance is a spear-like weapon, and then low stance is the handle and the blade folded over for a kind of close-range swinging weapon. I'm not quite sure what the hell it is. It's basically just like a massively bladed punch knife at that point, really. And then the Odachi, I would imagine the Odachi is a mix between the sword and the axe. I didn't really get a chance to use it all that much in the original Nioh because it was a DLC style weapon. I mean, dual swords, they are like quite a decent bit, and they don't use up a massive amount of stamina per strike, but they do have that like added bit of, you know, when you're swinging it kind of takes it in chunks. Also, don't mistime your key pulses, otherwise that's what you get. Yeah, you gotta make sure to time them perfectly, don't you? So that's like the 3-hit combo that gets. Low stance dual swords, if memory serves, was just ridiculousness for a number of hits. And then high stance dual swords was really quite something. Damage wise, on key damage, that's ridiculous. But as it's so slow, high stance tends to be one that is neglected the most. See, the strong attacks. Strong attacks in sequence. I can't see myself using them all that much, but these do have a lot of reach and do lunge you forward, which is quite useful for a slow startup. So the dual swords might be a good move to take. And if they're increasing skill... I mean, if you went dual swords and dual hatchets and just went for a skill build... Also, I said hatchets terribly there. If you were going for like a pure skill build, then yeah, I can see the appeal of going for dual hatchets as well. But, I don't know. I kind of want the basics of the sword, because distancing and whatnot is... Like, what are the dodges like here? Because you can't really test the dodges all too well. And if I was to switch to high stand? Dark Souls fat rolls. Ugh. Also, you may notice your ki doesn't regenerate while you're moving and blocking. This is not like Sekiro in that regard. You need to basically lower your guard, relax, and breathe as it goes. But no, I think... I think for now, definitely this is where I'm going to hold up the most. Having my dual swords is one thing, having this, definitely another. The 4-hit combo with a sword is pretty useful. Oof, I'm not even watching my stamina usage in the tutorial area. That's a sin right there. You do start to recover ki pretty quickly after that last strike with the sword. Now, if memory serves, the low stance for the spear is very quick, very low range, but a very nice string of attacks. High stance with a spear, if I remember, is really wide swings that take up a lot of stamina. and then mid-stance is just regular infantry spear strikes. I am really tempted to take the dual swords, because they do seem to be quite useful in terms of their power attacks and whatnot, but then... See, that's the one thing that I don't like about mid-stance spear. The power attack is pretty useless, but then the double sweep is quite useful in mid-stance. And then high stance's power is... yeah. So, like, that second strike right there is the worst for range, and this is the one thing this weapon has going for it, unless you're really pressed into close quarters. So it's a bit of a weak strike for me. But then, as much as I'm not really interested in using magic, this thing, it does yield quite a lot of want, really. It's a good weapon, it's very quick, and then, hell, if you want range. It is rather slow in high stance, but it has a hell of a reach. Like, it's a really good weapon, overall. But whether it's something I want to start with, it would kind of start me down the path of an Nioh mage, which I don't really want for my build. I don't know. Dual swords are really tempting me, overall. The spear... I don't know. I really don't know. I know, for one, definitely just taking the sword is a hands-down option that I'm not going to pass up. Also, these must be here for some reason if you can go up to all of them. I wonder why. I'm guessing you unlock them as you go through the story. But I don't know what they're for. I'll be curious finding out. Anyway. Aside from really liking the Switchglaive, I can always use one later, but it won't really be good for the build. Because each weapon has stats that are attributed to it and that are, you know, that affect each weapon type. And if you're going to go for a certain build, then you're going to want to use certain weapons. The annoying part is, for me, I like to go with quite a high constitution, so a spear would be a good choice, but I don't like the spear as much as other weapons. I don't know. Going with skill isn't really something I do, so I tell you what, I am going to choose the spear off the bat. I never really use the spear that much, but it is something I will make use of in early game, at least. Right. I think I've got everything ready here for now. Can I actually do anything in here? Like, I can look at my equipment. Yes, I know what the equipment menu is, thanks. So, high attack damage is up on the spear. Skill customization. Yeah, of course. Here you can change which skills are active and where they're bound to. That's really useful, by the way. Make sure you kind of pay heavy attention to this and, you know, the Learn Skills menu. This thing right here. Now, according to a lot of tips videos, because I did watch a few of them, because I'm not the best Nioh player, honestly. I never finished the original game, mainly because other things came up, and I'm going to forever associate Nioh 1 with a really sad event, honestly. While I was playing the game at one point, on the mission where you fight the Umebozo, I was halfway through the mission and I got the bad news that my grandmother had just died, and honestly, that's the strongest memory I have of the original Nioh is that moment, and it didn't tarnish the game for me. I still think it's a fantastic game and I still enjoy to play it very much, but it kind of dampened my drive to play it, because it brought back a few sad memories. And that's where this has the chance to set that right. Not that I'm saying that it's the fault of Nioh in any way. It's just, if I really enjoy the playthrough of Nioh 2, and I really do get good, you know, like, a good vibe from it, which I can almost guarantee will be met with a healthy dose of fucking rage, of course, because this game is hard. But, well, I say it's hard. It depends on how you build, what your levels are, and other some such. But you can make it very difficult if you want it, and I like making things difficult for myself because I like punishing myself horrendously. Now, to get back on track and away from, you know, why I don't play the original Nioh or didn't finish it probably like I should have, the skill trees can be a little bit intimidating. So you have your 4 major disciplines right here, which are your samurai, which is basic combat with melee weapons, ninjutsu, which is, well, ninja skills, which is the use of ninjutsu, such as bombs, shuriken, poison darts and whatnot. And then your Onmyo magic, which is use of elemental magic, charms, talismans, and other some such. Those were the 3 main disciplines of Nioh 1. In Nioh 2, you also have Shifting, which is your ability to use yokai abilities. So, in order to perform yokai shift, there are certain things called soul cores in the game, which also give you yokai's various abilities. Now, you get those by slaying the yokai, and it leaves its soul core behind. You can then attune the soul core to a guardian spirit, and then it's bound to a button press, which I believe is R2 and one of the face buttons, like the triangle, square and X, based on which slot you've put it in. Circles used for something a little bit different. That's used for the Yokai Burst, which is a feature that I believe the devs described as get good or die, in paraphrasing terms. They basically said if you don't learn to use it, you're going to be in for a harder time than someone who takes the time to really learn how to utilize it and master it. But that comes with time, you know? It's the same with basically the weapons. Like, they're the rest of your skill trees. So each weapon has its own set of skills you can learn and master, and you gain skill points with each weapon by using the weapon, as well as various other things. Now, with each weapon, obviously, you get better with its weapon attacks and whatnot. Usually, you'll start out, if you're relatively new to playing Nioh, or relatively inexperienced, or generally bad, you'll start and you'll use mid-stance a lot. Like, I would say sticking in mid-stance is definitely your friend early on, because it's the balanced stance. It's mid-speed attacks, mid-speed, stamina depletion. You know, it generally is just quite middle ground in every way. Maybe with certain weapons it's not, like the axe, where it just takes a shitload of stamina anyway. I'm slightly hurt. Oh, because I got the constitution increase. Right, that's why my health is not full. Okay. Anyway. Generally, more experienced players tend to vary between mid and low stance quite a bit. I've seen people use high stance in various situations, but it certainly seems to be the most neglected and situational. I'd say if you really know that you can pile on some hurt, it's time to use high. If you're not certain whether or not you'll hit, maybe not use it. It's also good for guard breaks, but it also takes a lot out of you, so you need to be really on point with your key bursts, or key pulses, sorry, to make use of it. But yeah, this game can be quite intimidating at first. Basically, try taking a look at a few sort of tips and tricks videos. Beware, I will say this now, anyone that's looking into playing Nioh and Nioh 2, some of the tips and tricks videos actually just drop in, here's some footage of the final boss. Just like that. And it's like, oh, well, thanks, I now know what the final boss is. Fuck you too, bitch. Thanks for the spoiler. Cheers. So I know what the final boss of this game is, and that's totally ruined for me now, because, you know, certain places just decided, fuck it, we've got the access to drop this, let's just do it, spoilers be damned. Some of them just drop it in there as, like, background noise, and they're not, they don't actively say, oh, you know, it is the final boss. They'll just have it playing as footage in the background, you won't even know. But if you know Japanese history, it kind of gives it away as well. I'll say that much. But yeah, just be a bit wary of spoilers. if you want more of a weapon breakdown and stuff, just go and read the wiki. Just try not to, you know, go on like spoiler pages. Just weapon breakdowns and stuff. I'm sure you can always ask in forums. Game FAQs is always a good place to start with pretty much anything. It's mostly used for Street Fighter in my own experience, but it's not a bad place to start. Anyway, enough rambling. So I've got those. Proceed to the Guardian Spirit selection. So the Guardian Spirits, they change what stats you have again. Oh, that's actually changed name. The Dark Phantasm is slightly different. The Fierce Wolf is strength, but it's also a brute style of Guardian Spirit, which is very slow and lumbering, though it seems to have been sped up. But yeah, basically it's just incredibly aggressive and just, yeah, go ham with the big club. The Swift Bird, I believe, is dual daggers? Yeah, dual daggers, so it's a little bit more fast-paced, just like tear through things, you know, you got your special dash. It's generally what I think is best for my build, personally. But then, I can't say for certain without trying them all. So, this is what looks to be... it looks like ranged attacks, but they start out with like really, really low range and then work their way up to be higher. I mean, the yokai shifts all look absolutely fantastic, and don't get me wrong, the mask on this shift is a big plus for me, just because it looks really cool, really demonic, and also kinda adds to the cuteness factor. Just because the whole fox mask was always used as kind of mischievous and like devious in a playful way. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with this, because mobility wise you can't really beat this. Like the dodging capabilities, it's pretty much between like, essentially, to boil it down, it's like Code Vein, essentially, because it kind of changes up the Dark Souls formula to feel a little more Code Vein-like. Because you get the 3 styles of shift, of dodge, are similar to the 3 styles of shift in this. So the Swift Bird is like the quick dodge, which, honestly, you need against some bosses in Code Vein. This is kind of like fat rolling, because it takes a while to recover before you can move again. And then I'm guessing this just has sort of mid-style dodges. Yeah, so it's like short, quick phase shifts, which have a little bit of a recovery frame on them, but not much. Like, I'm mashing as fast as I can to sort of chain these together right now, and it's... If you time them right, it feels like they're pretty fluid, but if you try and like change direction, the changing direction dodge is pretty bad. So straight line stuff is definitely better than, say, side to side and whatnot, you know? Like if I put up my guard and then... Actually, it seems to be better when you got your guard up a little, but it's still... Taking the time to pirouette still kind of puts a dampener on things a little bit, you know? But, yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with this. The Swift Bird Spirit is definitely where I'm gonna go, because you can't die if you don't get hit, and in this form, you're not gonna get hit. Albeit, your health is replaced with the Yokai Shift gauge. The more you get hit, the more that goes down quicker. It also acts as a health and attack meter, so essentially, the more you attack and the more you get hit, the more that goes down and the quicker it goes down. It also goes down over time, of course, and I believe by going into Sheath you can deactivate the transformation, keeping whatever remained of your shift gauge. So please, whatever you do, when you're in Yokai Shift, do not forget to cancel it and sheath your weapon to maintain whatever charge you didn't need to use, rather than just letting it run down, because that charge can mean the difference between victory and defeat. And honestly, in this game, defeat's going to be often enough. I fucked that up and had to try it again, and it came out horribly wrong, weirdly. Anyway, this game is going to involve failure quite enough without you giving a few more advantages to an AI to screw you over. Anyway, I think I'm good. I think I've got everything sorted. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm good to go. It looks like I'm going to be a very heart and constitution focused build, which honestly is the way that I went in the betas, and it's probably the way I'm going to go in Nioh overall. I think I played Nioh a little bit too lax. I didn't really focus on builds or anything. In fact, I think I went through up to the point I got to, which was like, what, freaking main story mission 12 or something, where I just didn't have any skills whatsoever. Whereas in this game you actually start with a few basic skills. I believe you start with a few basic parries and grapple skills. I didn't even have those in Nioh, so I'm already better equipped skills wise in Nioh 2 than I was in Nioh. I really need to focus on my build, make the game as easy as possible for myself, and yeah. Alright, let's have a look. I'm going to be quiet and mute myself during this. What on earth was that? Tiny scrap of a rag? Or a memento of someone's? Ah, a divine branch fragment. Yep, so basically the divine branch fragment is, you came on this mission. You weren't ready for it. You don't want to get stuck having to grind out killing one enemy then going back to a shrine a billion times, so you can get out, but all of your Amrita, which is basically a pseudo-currency for level ups, it goes, much like in Dark Souls your souls would go. Thankfully you have gold, and it also looks like the good old little shrine icon above the Amrita at the very bottom there, which looks like the magical power swirl or some such. Someone may be able to describe that better than me. But that's the symbol for your Amrita. The next one above that, which looks like 2 coins with holes in the middle, is obviously your money, which is gold in this, which otherwise would be yen, of course. And then above that is the little shrine symbol, which I believe is glory, which is used for participating in PvP. Or is gained by participating in PvP and used for certain rewards, which should become clear later on in the game. Now, the village of Cursed Blossoms gives me a longbow, sacred arrows, high quality leather platelets, and a red spider lily, which is used for what's it used for again? Is it yokai purification or is it something else? So what can I do at the starting point right now? I have my hut, which is basically at this point, wait, I can remodel. Visitation? Wait, I can just have my guardian spirit sat in my hut? Okay, fine. Well, move to another hut. Okay, there might be something a little bit more there than is needed. Yeah, you can always just change your appearance anyway. Items wise, I believe I've got nothing, so that'll sharp change and fill up quite a bit. No doubt, this game always gives you a lot of loot. It is a looter style game. Ah, dojo. I can actually train here. During this mission you'll not gain any proficiency, familiarity or amrita for leveling up. And you can only use specified items here. And the Torii Gate is online, which is cooperate with another player to complete a mission. Yeah, so since I'm just in the tutorial section, I don't think there's much I can do here, because I don't have the hidden tea house, nor do I have the blacksmith yet. The hidden tea house is usually where you go to spend your glory. Right. I'm going to drop a quick save here. No doubt it will have done anyway, but, you know, it's always handy just to have. Right, so the Village of Cursed Blossoms is my first mission. Pays out a little bit of gold and a little bit of amrita, as well as giving me the longbow, which is probably the best piece of equipment. The high quality leather platelets are something, but essentially it is what it is. Let's see. Under the nighttime cherry blossoms for the hero that will set our village free from the horrors that plague us. It seems this message is from someone that heard the whispers of my work slaying yokai. There are no hints as to who sent it, but it appears to have come from a village called Jusanzakura. If the yokai are really there, then it might be worth heading that way to take a look. So I've just become a yokai hunter through life. One of which who seems to have not really done much, as I'm still level 1. But I guess that's where I got a few basic skills from, so whatever. So this is going to be... I'm not sure, really. I have a feeling that this is going to be the bite off more than you can chew and die mission. Because it just feels like it would be. So, the Maelstrom of War knows no bounds, and even Jusanzakura, a village once prosperous due to its abundant supply of post horses and work cattle, could not escape the chaos. Before long, it was reduced to little more than a ghost town. Now, only yokai wander the deserted, ruined village. The springtime cherry blossoms, once enjoyed by the lively villagers as they went about their daily business, now bloom among the deafening silence of the long departed. Pretty ominous goddamn description, isn't it?